Hello everyone, welcome to the Game Theory and its Application class. Uh, if you think I'm Sun-gu Han, you are in the right class. In Korean, my name is Han Sun-gu. Uh, this is a big class and it seems that because of the corona situation, we are gonna never meet face-to-face even in the midterm exam and final exam. Okay, tell you the truth, we wouldn't have an exam because we cannot meet. I don't believe that uh, I can give a fair exam to 300 people online. So I have no plan to give any exam that may cause unfairness, which means I cannot prevent cheating, in short. Therefore, I plan to provide you probably two assignments, one for midterm, one for final exam, and your grade would be based on that assignment. You have to submit the assignment properly in time. Don't be late, and then you should be correct in all your answers. So that's it. And I posted on YSEC. On YSEC, you have to check every week, and you recorded your attendance there because I'm supposed to check your attendance, and I cannot do that online. So what I'm planning to do is you leave a note that you took the class, then I'll count that as your attendance. Okay. And for the assignment, due to the really large size of the class, I have two very hardworking TA. However, it would be an enormous task for my two TA to grade all of your 300 student assignment. Therefore, we can make a mistake. I'm ready to admit. However, if you keep on repeatedly complaining on something even after we are checking, that is not manageable for this stage of class. Therefore, when you return your assignment and you have something wrong in grading, you can complain us to once at most, and we are going to check it thoroughly, but still we think that grading was fair, that grading of the assignment was fair, and that would be final. But this one complaint would be acceptable, but second, third, we cannot manage. We don't have time and people to do that. Okay, sorry to say this, but I'm I was willing to take as many students as possible considering the situation of coronavirus and everything, which you do feel very uncomfortable. But for that price, you have to understand that we can respond to your complaint only once. Okay, if you still accept it and in this class, let's have fun for the next one semester. Oh, I'll post this PPT online too, so you can check this PPT. You can find the file of this PPT lecture file on the YSEC too. Okay, let's begin. Oh, another information is I'm trying very hard to post every lecture at least 2 weeks in advance. So what I'm doing right now would be posted in mid-August. However, this is going to be the first week of September class. And each class, 1 hour would be transformed into 25 minutes. Okay? Yeah, you would never meet me in person, maybe. This is how I look like. I think somehow, yeah, sorry, first of all, sorry that I'm not a handsome person. The left side is like 5 years ago, the right hand side is like 1 year ago. And as you can see, I'm getting fatter and older, but this is how I look like. So if you find this kind of fat guy, like look like this, a little bit fatter now, on campus, that's me. Okay. So I'm a faceless professor in this lecture, but this is how I look like. I enjoy eating a lot. It is a buffet restaurant. Okay. I'm going to start up the class with some warming up questions. That's usually how I do offline. The reason for that is that I want to give you the flavor of what kind of class you can expect. Okay. Once again, this is a good time for you to quit the class if you found out, oh, this material is not what I'm thinking. I want some other game theory kind of thing. And today, especially today, I'm going to talk about economics much more than the game theory itself. Because after all, game theory is a part of economics. And understanding economics, I personally believe, would be a good place to start understanding game theory. This is a long story, but basically, people are making and selling and buying shoes. So they are makers of shoes and there are buyer of the shoes. Okay? You cannot believe how ladies love shoes, including my wife. So full of shoes in my house, and only 10% of them is mine. The rest is my wife's. Something like that. But anyway, the production cost of there are 6 shoemakers, and the costs are different. The most skilled one can produce shoes at $10, the next 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60. On the buyer side, they are different too. The shoe buyer who want the shoe at the least value, not so desperate, would be 15. But who want the most is 65. Here, even though the cost and willingness to pay are different for the buyers and makers, I'll assume that the quality of shoes are same. So in reality, it might be different. But in our example, the person who costs $10 to make the shoe, the person who costs $60 to make the shoe, their shoes are identical. We cannot say one is better than the other. Maybe this is less skilled, so he needs more tools, maybe machines, while this $10 guy do everything by hands, and more material and things like that. But in the end, shoes are shoes. They are same. Okay. If these 12 people, 6 maker and sellers and 6 buyers, if they begin to trade, and the rule is the maximum shoes one person can buy is 1. So it's either the buyer can buy 1 pair of shoes or nothing. They cannot buy 2 pairs of shoes. In this case, how many shoes would be sold? Wow, complicated. So these 6 people are selling, 6 people are buying, and the maximum amount of shoes the buyers can buy is 1. The shoes are identical. What would be your guess? In the previous years, I asked this question to the student, and actually many people answered, oh, all the 6 of the shoes would be sold. Why? One person make the shoes at $10, the other person purchase willing to pay 15, so maybe around $12, $13 they agree. 20, 25, $23, something like that. So if $10 maker sell to $15 willing to pay consumer, 20, 25, 30 to 35, 40 to the consumer of 45, maker 50 to the consumer of 55, maker 60 to the consumer of 65. Then every maker can sell the shoes and make a profit on $2 or $3. And the buyers, consumers, every consumer would buy, and compared to what they pay, they got a surplus of happiness of $2, $3. Okay? So do you think that's the case? All 6 of them would be made and traded and sold to the consumers? The answer is no. How do I know? There are economists who gave money and shoes to experiment. We call that experimental economics. And what they found out is that let's go back to the previous case. What was found out was they can sell only 3 shoes. If you consider like what I have explained, 10 to 15, 20 to 12, 5, that's not going to be happening. The shoemaker, the best shoemaker who has the cost of 10, who would be the best consumer? If from the maker's point of view, the 65 guy. The same shoes, this guy is willing to pay up to 65. From the consumer's point of view, who's the best shoemaker? This $10 cost guy. If you go to the blind date, 6 men and 6 ladies, the most popular boy matches who? The least popular girl? No. The most popular boy, go out date with the most popular girl, lady. Okay? Same thing happens. The most wanted shoemaker would be paired with the most wanted consumer. Why? Because they want each other. That's the free economy. So this $10 cost guy would be matched with $65 willing to pay consumer. So they will trade. The $20 then go to the second best shoemaker, match you second best shoe buyer. So if he gets more than $20, he's happy. If she pays less than 55, and they will match. The third most wanted shoemaker would be matched with the third most wanted consumer. What about fourth? The fourth shoemaker should be matched with the fourth most wanted consumer, but then there occurs a problem. The fourth one, because his cost is 40, has to get at least 40. Otherwise, there's no reason to make it. If he got $30, the shoemaker would lose $10. Would you make a shoes and lose $10? Or, what is another option? You'd rather not make it. Then make $0, zero profit. So, if someone pay him less than $40, he's better not making it. But then, so the least price 40, but then the buyer is willing to pay 35 only. It's the maximum. If you are willing to pay 35, but you pay $40, you're losing 5. You'd rather not buying it. So when we are smoothly selling into the first, second, third, and they naturally sell and purchase, when we reach the fourth one, unless we found a number bigger than 40 and less than 35, they would not trade. Not to mention the fifth one and the sixth one. So, in this 6 sellers and 6 buyers situation, what is going to be happening? Only 3 shoes would be made and sold to the consumer. Why am I talking about this? This is economics. This is the supply and demand. This is a supply curve. This is a demand curve. Somehow we arrange the consumers from 65, okay, this graph is off the chart a little bit, 65, 55 and things like that. From here, it's going to be 10, 20, so, oh, I made mistake. There should be 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but I missed 6. But anyway, it goes down, it goes up, and when they cross, it stops. And here, it stops a little bit bigger than 3, which means only 3 shoes would be made. So this is 65 and this is 10. So the consumer is willing to pay 65. The seller is willing to take $10. So they can trade because we can find a number that is bigger than 10 and less than 65. Something like that. And then 55 and 20 and 45 and 30. But then when we reach the fourth, it's going to be, I have to get $40, but I'm willing to pay only up to 35. So they cannot trade anymore. So you must have encountered this supply and demand curve. But what is the real meaning of supply and demand curve is figuring out how many shoes would be sold. Okay? So this is the basic concept of economics. The economists are actually fortune tellers. Okay? Let's talk a little bit more about it. Now the God appears in front of you, and the God, he or she, give you a choice. I can give you one of the 2 abilities. Number 1, realizing the meaning of life. Yeah, great. I mean, why am I living? What is the purpose of life? Sometimes I am so gloomy, I want to commit suicide because I don't know what is the purpose of life. Now you can realize that. Now you can teach everybody about the meaning of life. Or instead of that ability, you can have the ability to tell the tomorrow's stock price every day. So on Sunday, you can tell the stock price of Monday. On Monday, like 12 o'clock daytime, you can tell tomorrow, Tuesday's stock price. Only you. Which ability do you want? I really hope some of you would choose meaning of life because you're young, innocent, and hopeful and things like that. But trust me, 99% of your father and mother would choose tomorrow's stock price. And from my experience, maybe 90% of you already chose tomorrow's stock price. Yeah, meaning of life is great. Yeah, but money is better, right? So, the meaning of life is what you can learn in history, philosophy, or literature, and things like that. Physics, maybe? Science? However, economics teach you this lowly concept, nothing so important in our life, the tomorrow's stock price. So we are making predictions. We are making predictions about what would be the stock price, interest rate tomorrow. What would be the apartment price, real estate price next month. Let's predict that. That is a question of economics. So economics is in the business. This sounds means we have 10 minutes left. Okay? No, 5 minutes left. So I told you every class is composed of 25 minutes. So when this beep sound click again, that would be the first class of your this wonderful game theory class semester. What kind of friend do you want if you want to have friend? Nice friend, strong friend, smart friend. Let's say this is the day before the exam. You are not so prepared. Nice friend, oh, he will sympathize with you. Strong friend, maybe strong friend can massage you, something. Smart friend, he would say, oh, sorry that you didn't study so much, but I have this, what professor would make exam questions kind of expected list. So the first question of chapter 1, the fifth question of chapter 2, I think they are very likely to be in the exam. Just study that. Which friend do you want to have? The smart friend. Maybe. The smart friend can make a prediction of the future. The stock price would go up, the real estate price would go down. So please buy the stock. Okay, it's a good time to invest in gold. Okay, something like that. Oh, the next president of America would be who, kind of thing. So these smart friends which means that person has better ability of telling what is going to be in the future, turns out to be, in most cases, the most useful friend. If somebody is most useful, if you're a friend, he will just tell you free, but then he thinks it's a good business, so I can tell you what's going to be in the future. I can tell you the stock price of tomorrow, but you have to pay me. Okay, Warren Buffett or George Soros, those guys, if you want to have a lunch with them, you have to pay a huge money because they can tell you what is going to be happening. Why it's most profitable? Maybe I want a strong friend. Think about your mom and dad. They care about you. Do they ever tell you, oh, don't study, just be nice? Or, oh, be healthy, you don't have to go to the university. They say, study hard and go to the university and learn something. Why? From their experience, if you are smart, intelligent, and learn a lot of things, a lot of knowledge, then you can make a prediction, better prediction about the future, then you can have a better life. Fortune tellers have been the stars in human history. Okay, in old days, if you go to Africa, who's the leader of the tribe? The strongest guy? No, the fortune-telling old person. Why that old person is leading? The old person is wise. He knows which fruit to eat, which fruit is poisonous. He knows how to catch the deer, how to hunt the deer. Now, what you shouldn't do in hunting. So he can tell you the knowledge. Okay, so the smart people are always in the lead. If you look at the history, the person who has the strength of killing the generals and soldiers, so many people, they're not the heroes or heroines of the history. The smart people who make these strategies and order things, they are the... Okay, even nowadays, the scientists are new kind of fortune tellers. The rocket scientists who shoot the rocket to the moon, how can you send the rocket to the moon? There is a moon, and you just shoot the rocket to the moon? No. The moon is moving very fast, maybe faster than the bullet. So for the rocket scientist, this is a moon. The moon is moving. You should shoot the rocket not directly to the front because by the time it gets there, the moon goes away. So you shoot the rocket in front of the moon and so that they can meet. So in order to be a rocket scientist, you have the power of predicting the moving of the moon so that you can hit the moon with a rocket. Okay? So all these scientists are fortune tellers of nowadays. And we call ourselves social scientists, the economists. What do we predict? Stock price, etc., etc., etc. Okay, let's continue next class. See you soon.